Hey guys, what is going on? IP of RageQuitTV casting the other semifinals of the SCReddit.EU tournament number 17. We have Matiz from the RG clan spawning as the blue Zerg. And we have Suspekt spawning as the red Terran. The winner of this will play a Terran by the name of Jimma. And Suspekt is going to be probing it up, and Matiz will be joining it up, as both these players do not want to cheese each other. They respect each other. Reddit is a nice community. No one cheeses in Reddit. However, they do have a thing for Action Jesus, which I don't understand. They're like, we hate cheese so much. But, Action Jesus, you're awesome, man. One thing I don't understand, but hey, Action Jesus is a awesome guy, too. Always fun to watch him in tournaments and see his thinking or his thought train behind how he plays. We do have more drones being built from Matiz, and Suspekt sending out a 9-pylon scout. The map is Darim Alter LE. And it looks like Suspekt is going to be trying to wall off this area and go for a fast expansion. We do have Matiz with his Overlord Scout going to be going down. And may just put his Overlord in this area right here, which will give him vision when he throws down his hatch first, or a hatchery, and won't see any type of pylons just creeping up as soon as the hatchery finishes. He's like, oh no. Oh, that sucks. Because there's nothing worse than your hatchery finishing, and then seeing a photon cannon, you're like, well, I'm screwed. And the drone is going out. It does look like it is going to be a hatch first build. Oh, no. He is going to build a spawning pool. And we do have Suspekt going for a forge first. So it looks like he is going for those cannons. The probe trying desperately to find where Matiz is. And Matiz, well, he did go for that pool. And I believe, maybe I'm just going to shut up. I thought he was going to go pool, then expansion. I thought I saw him do that in another game. But no, he is going pool gas. Does have this drone, gonna go up, sees the forge, knows this is a forge fast expand, and one thing that counters this, fast layer. And move your overlords down here, bring 3 drones, and actually not there. Vomit creep, bring 3 drones, build creep tumors. Complete counter to this. 100% counter to a forge fast expand build. And we have a spawning pool being built, now just finishing, gonna get some lings out most likely, doesn't have his gas, so it looks like he used that for an extractor trick. As I said earlier, maybe I just missed him extractor tricking, so he was right. I thought he was going for a pool, then hatch, and he does. We do have the gateway now coming up. This forge is up, but no cannons have been built. The first cannon is coming down. And another pylon is being built, so this Nexus was really early. Looking at this time, Nexus has been building for 60 seconds. This hatch has been building for 65 seconds. So both players expand around the same time. The Protoss player does have a benefit in that section because, well, Protoss is supposed to expand after the Zerg, much later than the Zerg players. When they expand at the same time or even earlier, they do get into a huge lead. However, his tech is severely hindered. Just now is getting his cybernetic score, but you know what? He's got this area walled off. He should be safe. The Zerg player should be taking a third base immediately, and he has something here that is a drone. So yes, he is going to be taking his third base, because when you see that forge fast expand, you know the Protoss player can't put any pressure on you. Number 1, they won't have warp gates. Number 2, they won't have stalkers, so your lings are okay. And number 3, the gateway comes out so late, your zealots, you don't have a zealot count to really kill off the lings. So I really do like the idea from Matiz just going for the third base when he sees his opponent going for the forge fast expand. But again, I did see a GSL game where you just get spine crawlers and do a spine crawler push against a forge FE because the cannon is behind here. So the spine crawlers can attack this building, they can attack this building, they can attack this building, and that unpowers the cannon, I believe. Yes, it will, because of patch 1.3.3, this pylon is smaller radius. So that cannon goes unpowered, and then they can take the cybernetic score out, then this pylon. And it's just a huge mess with their spine crawler pushes, but we don't see that coming out from Matiz. He is getting an Evo chamber, and the third base is just about done. Going over this worker count, 28 drones to 29 probes, but no fear, he is doing vomit lover on each of his hatcheries, so he will be producing a lot of drones very quickly. Evo chamber is just about up. We do have the Laffy Taffy expanding across the map, and again, just like his game against RageQuit, he doesn't touch the 2 bases. They never touch, and Overlord is coming in, Gets a scout, but has seen absolutely nothing. Sees a pylon up here. That is about it. Sees a nexus. Knows all the tech is in this area. Still just at one gateway. And places a gateway here. May have been smart to place the gateway right here, just out of beneath, so the Overlord can't see it. And now he's just placing all the gateways. So the Overlord, Matiz, does know exactly what Suspekt is up to. He is delaying his gateways too. So he has pretty much just cannons for defense, which means he could take another expansion if he wanted to. And this Ling pops in and sees 2 cannons, doesn't see the 3rd cannon. But this Overlord may make his way over to see that no, he is dead. The Stalker does take it. And I think Matiz could easily take a 4th base without being worried too much. Should be vomiting. There he goes on that hatch and this hatch. Getting his Roach one up, getting a lair up, and this is now saturated. We do have a Twilight Council up. So maybe Blink Stalkers, maybe DTs, maybe High Templar Immortal. High Templar Immortal is actually pretty strong. I heard Idra talk about it, and I played with it a little bit, and it is really strong. Probably stronger than Colossus, that Colossus Death Ball, if microed properly. A lot harder to use. It's not really just a Death Ball where you can aim move. You have to micro your High Templars. Of course you have to micro your High Templars. You have to micro your Storms, micro your Immortals to attack Roaches, and do a lot of other stuff. And use Gateway units as buffers. I say Immortal High Templar, but I don't just mean just Immortal High Templar. It is 50 drones, 246 probes, and looks like we do have Matiz now deciding it is safe to take his next base. Going in this army count, we have both players kind of just, let's have no army. And kind of odd, the Protoss player has even less. 175 minerals, 150 gas versus 1,025 minerals, 350 gas. And looks like an Overseer is out from Matiz, gonna see what is going on, and sees all these gateways. And looks like it is Templar Archives. How many gateways is this? So it looks like he's kind of doing kind of a TT1-ish style, or is that Kiwikaki, who builds extra gateways. And what that does is always allows you to warp in units. And Suspekt getting some Archons. This is patch 1.3.3, so it looks like he's just going mass Archons. And I can't wait to see if this actually works. More High Templar is going to be morphing in, doing that little chest bump, and then turning into Archons. So it looks like it's going to be Zealot, Archon. Really odd combination of units. Roaches, well, every Zerg unit does kind of poorly against Archons. Archons do a lot of damage versus bio units, and every Zerg unit is bio. 39 damage per shot. Just to give you an idea how much life do a Ling have, 35. So no matter what, these Archons are going to take 3 Lings out, or 1 Ling out at a time per hit. And their AoE allows them to take up to 3 Lings out per shot. So Lings, you don't want against Archons. The Roaches, well, they will do okay. 145 HP, they still don't have that much. 40 damage is a buttload of damage. And since patch 1.3.3, they do have range of 3 instead of 2. Those Roaches can outrange the Archons, but only by 1, not too much. We do have the 4th base now just about up from Matiz. 55 drones to 48 probes, and we have the Archon force coming in. I wonder if he takes this pylon out, if the Archons will be able to fit through this, because they are massive units. And the Laffy Taffy is touching to his 3rd base. Doesn't touch to the 4th base just yet, but that is really close. You can see it on the same screen, so that's not a huge deal. And that Overseer is getting zapped from the Archon, so maybe this is why he has so many gateways. Maybe with this many gateways you can produce Zealots and Archons efficiently, because High Templars don't really cost minerals, they cost gas. Zealots don't cost gas, they cost minerals. So you may be able to produce a lot of units with this. And actually just taking the Forge out, I disagree with that. That Forge is probably needed so you can get upgrades for your Archons. And took out a, was that a Changeling? Or a Zealot? Going to this Lost tab, 300. I think that was a Zealot he just killed. 3 Zealots to be exact. Maybe that was... Does friendly fire happen if you do it on your own units? Oh no, he took out a Forge. So Forge 150, Probe, and Zealot probably makes up 3. And we're about to have the engagement. The army sizes are about even. The Zerg just a little bit less. And here we go. Big battle going on. Zealots and Archons versus Roaches and Hydras. What will win? And it looks like Those Urkons are just dealing so much damage. Those Hydras have to split up so they don't let the AoE happen. And the Hydra's actually doing fairly well against those Urkons. And their Stalkers are retreating. Hydras do very well against Stalkers, and looks like Matiz lives to fight another day. Those Hydras should go back, wait till he has more of an army, has a greater spire being built, should get more Hydras. He has this huge macro lead with 4 bases to 2 bases. Don't just produce a few units at a time. And he has a link here so you can see no 4th base. Has patrolled this area enough to know there is no 3rd base. So Matiz should know he has a huge lead against Suspekt. Meanwhile, Suspekt is getting 6 more drones, getting a Corruptor, getting Pathogen Glands, and getting Missile Attacks level 3. And you know what? The great thing about Urkons is they don't do extra damage to each other. So if you near a Parasite in one of them, they do significantly less damage because they do a lot extra damage to Bio. So you steal an Urkon, you're like, haha, got one. Well, Zealot's not really Bio, so they do less damage. You're just taking away the damage the Urkon does to you, so that's kind of cool how that works. Kind of near Parasite still works well, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of funny that they don't do that much damage to each other. But those Broodlords are coming out. We do have Stalkers without Blink. Blink is on the way, about halfway done, and Storm is being researched. But again, 4 bases to just the 2 base Protoss. 72 drones versus 58 probes now. Looks like we have Matiz starting to saturate his 4th base. And this main, well, look at this. He has perfect saturation pretty much across the board. Really nice job, Matiz. And going for a 5th base right next to the Protoss base. Holy cow. He'll even be able to see this being mined off of and this gas. That is how close that 5th base is. But you know what? He's got Broodlords. He doesn't care. Blink is done. We have Hydra Roach. 1 Urkon is out. And even more Broodlords being morphed. And they will be able to abuse the area right here. Take out all these pylons and workers, and that would do a lot of damage because Suspekt is really only mining off of this base right now, is getting his 3rd base up. But there's a lot of spots for the Broodlords to sit. They could sit like right over here on this spot, preventing Stalkers from blinking underneath of them. So there's a lot these Broodlords can do on Telegram Alta. We will see very shortly which path they do decide to take. And the food right now is 194 for the Zerg, 150 for the Protoss player. And the army supply is in the Zerg's favor. Changeling goes in, does get taken out, and here we go. Broodlords get blinked under. Infestor did not get the fungal growth off, and Storm is going off. And this was a horrible engagement for the Zerg player Matiz, but you know what? He is so far ahead on macro, it doesn't exactly matter. And Suspekt, no! Oh man, this is never good. Always bad when a player does drop. 166 food to 101 food. I think it would be safe to say that Matiz does take game number 1, but that is all up to the admins. So, still just waiting on this. Suspekt looks like he did drop. And, yeah. Just sitting here. Do 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 do. And he can. Game is over. Let's look at all the. Well, everything's dead now. But 6 base to 3 base, I think the Zerg player had it won. We'll find out.